Hey, what's going on, fellow YouTubers? This is Vilgax10 again, and today I'm going to be discussing my overall thoughts about a series called Afro Samurai. Now, this series is actually the first ever anime series that I've ever purchased, and I was actually going to start talking more about these as soon as I got my hands on more anime, but I figured why not? I'll start this off now and see how this goes. Now, what I want to talk about in this series is going to be quite a few things, so I'm probably going to have to split this up in a lot of parts. So, if there's anyone who is going to watch this series or plans to watch this series anytime soon, please stop watching this video now because this is going to be very spoiler heavy. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's get on with the review, my overall thoughts, and see what's what. Now I'm going to show you the case here. One second. Yep, this is the case that I ordered from Amazon.com. And this is the Afro Samurai Complete Murder Sessions. So this has all the episodes of the series, including the sequel movie called Afro Samurai Resurrection. And I'm going to be first talking about a little bit of the manga and about the 5 episodes of the series, and then move on to finally the sequel movie. Now, as for the manga itself, I haven't actually read the whole thing, just the first chapter, which I found online at the official site, at the Afro Samurai Resurrection site, and it's pretty interesting. I love the art style, and the author who actually created the series, his name is Takashi Okazaki, and his actual inspiration to start this series was for his love of urban hip hop, that kind of stuff. And this is actually the title character here on the cover, Afro. Yeah, his name's actually Afro, and he is a black samurai. Go figure. Now, I actually started to get into this. I actually heard about this series a few years ago, and I wasn't really sure what to think about it first. And when I saw that Samuel L. Jackson was actually going to do the voice for the character, I thought, hey, this sounds interesting. Huh. Because I never heard Samuel Jackson actually doing voice work for an anime series, so, I thought that'd be pretty interesting. Now, let me just open up the case here real quick. One second. Here we are. Now, the case actually contains 2 separate cases here. This case contains CDs for the actual episodes of the series. Let me just open that up. Yep, that's CD number 1 that contains all 5 episodes of the series, and CD number 2 over here that actually contains all the extra content, interviews for the voice actors, the production team, and the studio that actually developed the series is called Gonzo, if anyone's interested in that. Now, I'm going to be going to do a episode by episode review if you will. So the first episode um, starts off with Afro actually as a little kid, and he is at the top of this mountain called Mount Shumi, with his father, and I think Afro's about like 8 years old, or around 8 years old. Well, he's very young at this point, and he is actually just heading across Mount Shumi with his dad, and at the top of the mountain, he and his father actually run into the villain of the series. Here's the villain himself here. His name is Justice, and he's actually the main villain of the series. Now, basically the premise of the plot of Afro Samurai is that there are these two headbands. And Justice here is actually wearing one of the headbands. There's a number 1 headband and there's a number 2 headband. Now, the number 1 headband, basically, whoever acquires it, they are basically promised, and they promised great power if they actually manage to acquire the headband. So, if you are actually strong enough and fortunate enough to actually acquire the number 1 headband, you basically become a god. You are untouchable. Nobody can challenge you. You're supposed to become all powerful. And the only person who is allowed to challenge you to get the number 1 headband is the person who has the number 2 headband. Now, the problem with that is that anybody on the planet can challenge the person who has the number 2 headband. So, basically, there's this huge cycle of killing and murder to acquire the number 2 headband, so that the person who has that can challenge the person who has the number 1 headband. And this just causes this whole cycle of hatred and vengeance and death. And this is pretty much the premise of the story, to acquire these headbands. Now, in the first episode, like I said, Afro gets to the top of Mount Shumi with his father, and his father at the time is the person who has the number 1 headband. And like I said before, this person, named Justice, he has the number 2 headband, and he wants to challenge Afro's father to get the number 1 headband, so he can pretty much become a god and become all-powerful. Now, Afro's father basically tells him to stand back and so he can take care of this guy, because actually Afro's father, he was planning to hide away the number 1 headband so that nobody could acquire it, basically stop all this cycle of killing. And Afro's father is actually a pretty awesome samurai, because he has the number 1 headband. So, to basically stop all his killing, he was just going to hide the number 1 headband away, but before he could actually do that, Justice actually caught up with him, and he wanted to get the number 1 headband, but of course, he had to challenge him to a duel to get it, and that that pretty much sets off the story. So he gets in, basically gets him to a duel with Afro's father, and as you can see here, Justice is a gunslinger. He's a cowboy, which is pretty odd, because the setting of this show is kind of set like in the Edo period, feudal Japan, if you will, and it would seem pretty out of place to have a cowboy type character in this series. Alright, so I'm going to talk more about this in part 2 of my overall view of the series, and please join me again for that. And see you again.